Whoa! Cut your damn head off. Okay, it's recording.
When you cut my head off?
No.
Hi guys. Sherman tried to record it a minute ago and he said, "Oh, I'll cut your head off."
Yeah, well, a little bit.
We had to start over. But anyway, I wanted to make a video. I thought it would be cool to make just a, random video. I am making homemade sugar cookies for my mom because she wanted me to make some for her for Christmas because she's having a party with my sister and my niece and nephew. So she wanted me to make cookies for them. Haven't made them in 3 to 4 years because I really just haven't felt like making them because it takes a lot of work, but she wanted them, so I'm making them. So I thought I would record us making sugar cookies. And where is my Christmas apron? I always had my Christmas apron with a cow on it, with a Santa Claus hat every time I made sugar cookies, and it's gone.
What happened to that?
I don't know what happened to it. I lost it. But let's zoom in to the table. So you don't have to look at me. You can just see what we're doing. You looking at the table? Sure.
Looking at the table.
Alright, what I added to this big bowl, which I love by the way, is my sugar, just regular white sugar, eggs, and butter. The butter has to be softened to room temperature. It cannot be melted or it will not work. And it cannot be hard or it will not work. It has to be room temperature. And I do not have a mixer, as you can see, so I've always done it by hand. I've never had a mixer. So it takes a little longer this way, as you can imagine, but it's okay. It's not that bad. It's not going to kill me here. It doesn't bother me to do it this way.
You can't have cookies.
This is all homemade dough, and I make my own homemade icing to go with it as well. And I'm not sure if my aunt picked me up sprinkles. Did she?
Red and green.
Got some red and green sprinkles too, guys. Sometimes I use some of that cake gel that you write happy birthday and stuff on cakes with to make eyes and stuff for the snowmen. I don't think I have any. But I got a star cookie cutter, a gingerbread man, a bell, a candy cane, a stocking, and a snowman. And I think they all came together in one pack from the Dollar Tree. I'm going to make other stuff for Christmas for Sherman and I. I'm making a cheese ball that, it's a special cheese ball that I only make for Christmas. Everybody loves it. I'm making that, and I'm making meat roll-ups. It's like just a little thing that we always had when I was a kid that my grandma and them always made for our party, Christmas parties we always had. And I've loved them ever since I was a kid, so I make them every year. And I'm making sure some little smokies in barbecue sauce. And I think I'm actually going to make 2 cheese balls. And that's all I'm making us. And these sugar cookies I'm making for Mom, I don't know. I might keep a couple. But,
You got to keep a couple to test them.
so sure we can test them out.
Not just me.
But the rest I'm giving to Mom.
Yeah.
She's coming out Monday to get them. Mom and Cindy and Abby, my niece, is coming out Monday to get the cookies and to get their gifts that I got them.
What do you want the oven set?
Abby will be out of school. Like 250, 300 degrees. I got 2 cookie sheets. The part that takes the longest is getting the dough to the right consistency to roll out and cut the shapes. And then the longest part is just waiting for them to bake. And then you have to, I'm going to make 2 separate videos because I'll have to wait a while before I put the icing on them, or it'll just run right back off because they're too hot. So I will stop the video when we get the cookies out of the oven and let them cool, and then I will come back with another video to show you guys the icing, the homemade icing that we're making, and us decorating the cookies. So I think this is getting pretty well good, if you can see. The eggs, the sugar, and the butter. we have to add some more stuff to it here. We have to add in our baking powder, baking soda, vanilla, and flour 1 cup at a time until your dough is the right consistency to roll out and to cut. I used to have one of those big white Tupperware mats to roll out and cut on, but now I don't have one. It got lost in the shuffle when we was moving, so I'm just going to have to use the table. You want to put flour down on your table first before you put the dough down, or it'll stick. And you want to rub flour over your dough before you cut the cookie out. That way your cookie will not stick to the sheet or stick to the dough on the table. So sometimes your cookies come out looking like a little pasty pale white on the, from the oven because of the flour, but if you decorate them with icing anyway, it's not noticeable. So that is good with that. So we're going to add in our baking powder and baking soda now. My hands are fresh and clean. I scrubbed them and hand sanitized them because I'm a germaphobe. This is just the excess that was on the spoon. I'll go ahead and throw it in. And the vanilla, 1 teaspoon of vanilla. We'll be using this again for the icing. 1 teaspoon, it doesn't matter if you run over a little bit. That's not a problem. We'll go ahead and stir this in first, and then I'll start adding the flour. And it's starting to smell super good already, and that is mainly because of the vanilla. Without the vanilla, it just wouldn't turn out right.
Without the lumps.
That's
It
the
wouldn't turn out right.
butter, because you told me it was ready, and I told you it wasn't long enough. So that's why I'm still chopping the butter. He doesn't listen. He thinks
She's churning, yes.
he knows I'm always right, but yet he likes to argue about it.
She's churning the butter. It's,
Yes, I'm churning the butter. I need to make some cheese.
no
I love
cheese, please.
cheese.
No cheese.
I love cheese.
I
Alright.
know, they're a big rat.
It usually takes 4 to 5 cups of flour, but you want to add it 1 cup at a time because, depends on how stiff you want your dough. And I don't have a powder measuring cup, so I'm using a snowman. I thought it would be festive, for the time here. And trust me, this is a mess. It's always a mess making sugar cookies, homemade sugar cookies, but they are usually pretty well worth it. I love sugar cookies, the homemade kind. That's what I always liked from the Apple Festival. That's what it's looking like, by the way. Is I just always wanted to go to the Apple Festival to get one of the apple sugar cookies. It was just a sugar cookie painted like an apple, with icing. That was always just what I wanted to go for, but I didn't get one this year. Because my mom went, but she didn't get one. And I'm sure my dad went. Yeah, my dad went too, because I seen him there. But again, I still didn't get a cookie. Nobody cares about my cookie. Sherm didn't get to go because transmission was going out of our vehicle. When the dough starts getting really stiff, then you'll notice me switching hands back and forth to stir it because it gets hard to stir. But it is still, as you can tell, really gooey And that's not what you want. So what you want is to add more flour. This will be our 3rd cup of flour. This is your 3rd cup of flour. Ho, ho, ho. You don't say ho, 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 snowman. You're not Santa Claus. Go back over there and sit in the corner. All right. Sherman's looking at me like I'm a fool. I'm a fool for you. I'm a fool for you. May take a while, but I'll prove it's true. That's not a Christmas song. We should be singing Christmas songs, shouldn't we? Sherm, sing us a Christmas song. Sherm, sing us a Christmas song.
No.
Sherm will not cooperate. The dough is still very, very sticky. You might end up putting in more flour than recommended because I, for one, like I said, do not have a powder measuring cup. It's getting stiff, but it's still not ready, as you can see. So, Snowman, come back here and do your job. See, it don't get all the way up to the top. It's hard to get with this snowman. Get in there. So that's probably up to 3.5 to 4 cups of flour now. And it usually takes about 4 to 5 cups of flour to get your dough the way you want it.
Dough.
And if it gets too dry, you can just add a little bit of milk. In case you wondered, what happens if it gets too dry? Well, just add a little bit of milk to your mixture and, you know, it'll get back to where you want. That's what it's looking like, by the way. The people that makes homemade bread or homemade noodles, you'll know what I'm talking about mixing it till it's just right to get ready to cut. For the noodles, anyways. My arms and hands are always weak. That's why I gotta keep switching back and forth. But it is getting better. When you can, like, pick it up without it sticking to your fingers, then you're pretty good. But, oops, sorry, snowman. Here's about 3 or 4.5 cups.
Don't hit me again.
Snowman, I think he got a concussion. He might have to retire after this job. As you can see, this is what it's looking like now. It's getting stiffer.
I'm gonna cross it. Look at that job.
And what I'm going to do now is start kneading it with my hands. And like I said, once again, my hands are super clean, so that is not a problem. Problem?
No.
Sherm likes to aggravate me. He likes to be mean to me. Still need more flour. Still too gooey. See? See this? That's bad. That's not what you want. So, I'm just going to do it as much as I need. Getting better. getting so much better. As you can see here, see it? If you don't like a mess and don't want to get messy, homemade sugar cookies are not for you. Because it will be messy and you will get messy. Just to let you know. But it is a very, very fun thing, to me anyways, to do with kids, especially little, younger kids, probably like 5 and maybe 3 or 2, 3 and up. They love to help, and decorating the cookies is always fun for them. I like to help cut them out. I did it with my niece and nephew and some of the kids that I used to watch. And they all enjoyed it. You see the dough is making a ball now? Yeah, it's not sticking to my hand as much. So I say just a little teeny more bit of flour and it'll be good to start rolling out. We need that rolling pin. My aunt had to let me borrow a rolling pin because I don't have one, because like I said, I haven't made cookies in 4 to 5 years, 3 to 4 years, whatever. So, got that under control. As long as the dough is not sticking to you, it's good. I'm just making sure that all of it's worked through. Because like I said, you don't want it too dry, but you don't want it sticky. So as you can see, it's good to go. So, I'll let you killing me. Holding on in this chair.
I told you I'd give you a chair, but you wouldn't listen.
You guys, I need to take just 1 minute break. Sherman's going to switch my chair to my wheelchair because this chair is making my legs go numb. So I'm going to try to stand up real quick and get my wheelchair. And we'll be right back. You can take the foot back. Trying to see if I can zoom in a little bit better. That's fine. And you squeeze through first. You go squeeze through.
Good. I can get in here.
See that? Me. Alright, we are back. I am in my wheelchair. Now, here's the flour. Sherman took the flour away. We can put this in the sink. Alrighty. Let me throw some of this crumbly crap out here on the table. What you want to do, Sherman, can you hold this bowl? The table's not very big when you got stuff on it. You want to put flour down on your table. It's better if you have a mat, like that big Tupperware mat I told you I used to have. This is so your dough does not stick to the table. I wonder if this is showing in the camera, because I kind of moved it accidentally. So, you know, just, and like I said, your cookies will come out a little white because of the flour, but you'll be covering with icing, so you won't tell anyways. And it's not bad enough that it will leave a taste, you know. So let's put that down, and what we're going to do is work our work our dough into a ball, and then lay it down. And at this point, it is very, very stiff. And I'm dropping some on the floor. You don't have to do the whole thing at once. You can do a little bit at a time, which is probably what I would do here.
Nice clean rug.
Huh?
One nice clean rug.
Yeah. Get into a ball there.
Not anymore.
Get into a ball.
That's a big ball.
It keeps falling apart. Alright. Now that I got it into a ball,
Hit Sherm with it, see if it sticks.
hit Sherm with it, see if it sticks. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Alright, guys. Now, I gotta move up in my chair a little bit. What you want to do is make sure when you roll, you don't want your rolling pin to get stuck to the ball of dough. So what you want to do is make sure it is powdered, and the bottom is powdered, of course, by the flour that you put on the table. So there's our big flour dough ball. Now we're getting the rolling pin, and we're going to put a little bit of flour on it so it doesn't stick. What are you laughing at?
Nothing.
You gotta flour the pin.
Yeah, I know.
Now, this will crack and crumble at some point, but you just gotta put it back together. Sometimes you can only do a few cookies at once.
If at first you don't succeed,
Ow.
put it back together again.
I just rolled my finger. We don't want that.
No. We don't want hide in our cookies.
Just want to smash it together. Smash it together. You know, you can do more if you have a bigger table and more room
If
to
you
work
had a
with
bigger
here.
rolling pin.
Mom said she doesn't want them too skinny and she doesn't want them too big, so that's why I'm working specifically with how I'm doing the dough here, because I usually make them a little thicker because people usually like them that way. But can you get through?
I'm fine. You just roll
Alright,
your dough.
see that? That's flattened out to about the consistency I want. Now remember, when you bake, this will puff up probably a good inch or half an inch more than what you cut it out to be. So that's why I'm just making it like this. And you want to put flour over all of it. This is, like I'm telling you, why it'll come out a little white, but like I said, you can't taste it, and the icing covers it up. So now all you gotta do is cut them out and lay them on the pan. And see, we still got all the dough left, and we will be using it. So first, we're going to use a snowman. Just put it wherever you want on the dough. Put it down. I always shake them out and work them out like that. And see there? Darn it. The snowman's wanting to be contrary.
Frosty.
Frosty is wanting to fall apart.
He fell.
If that happens, just roll it back out. Trying to make me look bad because I was making fun of you. Just roll it back out. And you can work with it next time. Just cut it out again in a different spot. And as you can see, that's a pretty snowman. So you just lay it down in the pan. And I like to mix them up, so I'm doing a candy cane now. See the candy cane? I'm laying it on the pan. And let's do a stocking. We've got a stocking. Now what, guys? How about a star? I'm just doing it very gently so it doesn't break. And it's trying to break, so we're going to not use that part. So we'll try a star down here. It will happen a lot, that it'll break. And I recommend not to use those ones to start over because they'll crack more if you got them like that in the oven. So there's the star. And we still got enough room here to make more. You can, out of dough, you can make a lot. I mean, the dough goes a long, long way, huh? This is a gingerbread man. You don't want to get them too close because these will poof up. And I'm making them, they are a little thick and Mom might not like these, but
Who cares?
I'm trying my best.
They're fine.
So hopefully they won't be too thick.
They're fine.
A broken bell.
It's the Liberty Bell.
I'm going to roll this dough back up. And we're going to start some more. This is just what you got to continue to do until you get all the cookies made that you want. A lot of them will break like that, so you got to just continue on. And it'll fall apart like this.
Ooh.
This is getting too crumbly with too much flour. So just set it aside. Grab you some fresh dough.
Boy.
I know, I'm getting the carpet all messed up.
What a mess. What do you want this?
I will use it.
What is?
I can already tell you that this is going to fall apart. But I've been trying to get cookies out of it.
What do you need for not to fall apart?
Nothing. It always does this. I could have put a little milk in it, but the consistency's the way I like it. It just, crumbles, but it just takes longer. As you can see, it takes longer to get a good cookie. But if you keep working with it, you'll get them like those there on the pan. Because you just got to work with the dough on the part that is not cracked. Which we will get a few cookies or so out of this. You can always press it together, as much as you can. And that'll usually work too. Like I said, this dough goes a long way.